This is KGW News at 11.
And thanks for joining us at 11. I'm John Adams. This weekend, we followed some of the best American track and field hopefuls as they tried to punch their ticket to the Paris Olympics. Orlando Sanchez has been covering the events for us from Eugene. He brings us a recap of today's trials.
The dust has settled on day 3 of the U.S. Olympic team trials here in Eugene. 6 finals and lots of thrilling moments. You could feel the electricity in the building. And one person who knows that feeling all too well, Oregon Ducks great Raven Rogers. The women's 800-meter semifinals was intense. Rogers said she had to bring out a different level of fight. Trailing down the final turn, sitting 4th, the Olympic bronze medalist used her patented kick, winning her heat by 0.03 of a second. Finishing with a time of 2:01.08, Raven Rogers advances to Monday's final.
Like, just swing out wide and give yourself a chance. That's always what I think, you know. I'm like, whatever I gotta do, just fight. I heard the crowd, yeah. So when they get excited, I get excited, but I'm like, calm down, finish the race. But you know, it's always great. I'm so happy to make it to the next round. I'm ready. Execution, I'm going for it. I'm making this team. Like I said, this is just confirmation of me making it to the next round.
The marquee event of the day lived up to the billing. The men's 100-meter dash. The more than 12,000 spectators on their feet, 4 Olympians battling for 3 spots. Noah Lyles, the defending world champion, matched his personal best in a blistering 9.83 seconds, winning the race. Kenny Benarek and Fred Curley round out the top 3, heading to Paris to represent Team USA. Lyles is trying to become the first American in 20 years to win the men's 100-meter dash at the Olympics. We'll have much more with Lyles coming up on Sports Sunday right here on KGW at 11:35. Reporting from Hayward Field in Eugene, Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
Thank you, Orlando, and what a day it was. You can catch a full recap of tonight's trials during Sports Sunday at 11:35 tonight. Day 4 of the track and field trials takes place Monday from 5 to 8 in the evening. And of course, you can watch it right here on KGW. Well, it may have been a cooler day across the metro area, but we still saw some sunshine in the latter parts of the day. But we're going to see a nice run of some sunny and warm temperatures throughout the week. Let's bring in Joe Ranieri now, meteorologist Joe Ranieri, with how warm things are going to get this week. Joe?
We're going to gradually warm up. I'll only have one day that's going to be really above 80. That comes Tuesday. But looking into tomorrow, we're still going to be looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 70s. A few spots getting close to 80 degrees. A little bit cooler earlier this afternoon. We had more of that onshore flow and that weak disturbance that moved through. Really didn't produce any precipitation, but it brought in some cool and cloudy conditions. That's why we only saw daytime highs in the low 70s. I say only, but we are still just a couple degrees behind where we should be on average for this time of year, which is 76 degrees. Along the Oregon coast, Astoria 64 degrees, Oakland 60 degrees there along the Washington side. And again, if you were spending some time on the coast, you definitely saw some cloudy skies earlier today, but by the afternoon we saw a nice stretch of sunny and really pleasant conditions by later part of the day along the coast. A great start to Monday, sunny and nice, warming up on Tuesday. That's going to be the warm day of the week with highs in the mid 80s. A few showers later this week, and that's been kind of what we have been experiencing so far the last couple of days. We'll warm up, cool off, maybe a few sprinkles here and there, and that's what we're going to be looking into the long range models as well. As we look at Futurecast tomorrow, we'll be waking up to morning clouds for a few of us, but again, both tomorrow and Tuesday, nothing but sunshine. A few changes heading into Wednesday and parts of Thursday. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
Okay, Joe, we'll see you later in the show. New tonight, a teenager is dead and one person in custody following an early morning shooting in Salem. Marion County deputies were called to a home on South Skyline Road following a report that a juvenile had been shot. First responders tried to help the 16-year-old, but they died on scene. Detectives arrested 18-year-old David Aon Urbano, who is booked on second-degree murder charges. He's scheduled to appear in court tomorrow afternoon. We continue to learn more about a man who died after being struck by 2 cars back in February. It happened along Northeast MLK Boulevard. Our Thomas Schultz joins us now. And Thomas, you spoke with friends of the man today. What did they tell you?
Say 61-year-old Ron Gaul had a big personality, and even though he never had much, he was always there to help those in need.
He just was a likable guy.
Months after Ron Gaul's death, friends still grapple with loss.
He just was really friendly, had a great sense of humor.
Maria Loss ran a warehouse filled with leather goods in Northeast Portland. That's how she met Gaul, who was homeless and bought hundreds of boots from Loss.
And so he was known as pretty much the boot guy.
Which he would sell over the summer on the side of the road.
It took a lot of work and energy to do that.
And he was always quick to help friends in need.
What was charming about him, when he had money, he would just give it away.
He let people stay in his U-Haul.
Wayne Bund was a friend of Gaul's. He says Gaul was walking over to Bund's home in a nearby RV park on February 5th.
Yeah.
When police say he was hit by two cars on Northeast MLK. He died along the road.
I can't remember what day of the week it was.
No arrests were made. Police say drivers cooperated with the investigation. Though 4 months later, this North Portland community living on the edge struggles with the loss.
We just can't believe he's not here. That we all miss him a lot.
Every single person that is out there is a person, and everyone has a story, and everyone's story is very different.
And after Gaul's death, his friends built this memorial, honoring the man who lived every day to the fullest, one leather-bound step at a time.
He was a really good guy that I miss a lot, and that many people miss.
And friends say Gaul had plans to create a nonprofit with money earned through his boot sales, though unfortunately, he never had the chance. John?
All right, Thomas, thank you for that reporting. We continue to follow the efforts by firefighters in Wasco County who have spent the day trying to get a wildfire under control. Central Oregon Fire says the Long Bend fire, about 4 miles southwest of Maupin, has grown to 2,000 acres. It was first spotted Saturday afternoon. The state's emergency management department says 95 people are under level 2 evacuation boundaries tonight. Level 2 means people should be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Officials say the fire is moving toward rock that will prevent it from spreading quickly. It's back to work as normal for 6 Oregon hospitals. The Oregon Nurses Association says there were no issues with nurses returning to work this morning. Now, this caps the end of a strike outside Providence hospitals following a breakdown of contract negotiations between the hospital and the union. There was a bargaining session set for tomorrow, but it was canceled after a federal mediator wasn't able to attend. Providence says they've offered several new dates to meet starting on July 10th. In a statement, Providence's chief executive says they're now focused on sharing values rather than differences. We want to get you ready for a major traffic disruption. This Friday, a stretch of I-5 will close down completely for more than 2 days. Our Chris McGinnis looks into what's behind it.
Several miles of Interstate 5 will close this weekend in Southwest Portland to allow ODOT to continue work on the Southwest 26th Avenue overpass. The planned 56-hour full closure of I-5 starts Friday at 9 p.m. The southbound closure runs from the Terwilliger Boulevard exit ramp to the Capitol Highway entrance ramp. The northbound closure runs from the Barber Boulevard off-ramp to the Terwilliger on-ramp. Approximately 115,000 vehicles travel this stretch of I-5 every day. The detour routes during the I-5 closure will be I-205 and I-84, as well as Highway 217 to US 26. So drivers expect extra traffic on those roads during this weekend I-5 closure. Numerous on and off ramps within the work zone will be closed, as will the I-405 south ramp to I-5 southbound. ODOT plans to have I-5 reopen by Monday, July 1st at 5 a.m. So drivers, plan your detours, pack your patience, and be nice to each other. We'll have more information about this on our website. Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
All right, Chris, thank you. A Pride celebration in downtown Camas returns bigger and better. Today, several local groups partnered to hold the Live Your Best Life block party. From vendors, performances, to dog and human fashion shows, this year's event more than triples the size and scope of last year's. The goal is the same, an inclusive event full of joy and community for people of all ages.
There's nothing else like this in downtown Camas. The representation of the kids and the safe space that we've created here for them has been really, really amazing. We had some incredible kids that got up and shared their stories during our open mic and sang songs, and yeah, it was just, the kids are really why we're doing it, and it was amazing to see them just flourish and be seen and feel so loved here.
They're already starting to plan for an even bigger event next year.